With us in the studio, the Lafu Skyfaring Hellmaster Madam Yukong, as well as Mr. La Cha, a traveling merchant currently staying on the ship.
Dice salió en YouTube,
Madam
en
Yukong,
Twitch, qué raro.
what's the latest on the Lafu situation?
Well, for the most part, the Stellaron crisis has been brought under control. We've evacuated affected areas, and life has returned to normal in the safe zones.
Mr. La Cha, I hear you experienced the crisis firsthand. What was it like on the ground?
Well, I was trapped in the Lawfus Cloudford Harbor at first. It was only thanks to the Cloud Knights and a fortuitous encounter with kindly strangers that I was able to escape unharmed.
That's the Xianzhou Alliance. I knew you guys had everything under control.
I should mention that over the course of this crisis, we've witnessed a lot of suspicious activity. We believe the infamous Stellaron hunters are responsible. We now have 2 suspects in our custody, Blade and Kafka. Unfortunately, their accomplice is still on the loose.
Oh, you're talking about the hacker girl, right? Silverwolf? I heard she infiltrated the Xianzhou systems. They say she leaves behind a calling card.
Like this one?
Exactly, just like...
Your fake ID info is ready.
Vamos a ver qué pex.
This place is different from the rest of the space station. We're on Genius.
Esa más es la que toda Mar está hablando, que se llama Silverwolf.
Alright, let's get going. We have to move quickly. Not what we're looking for. It's a bait signal.
Me lleva porque tiene como la ambientación retro. Eso es lo que me gusta de ese personaje desde la primera vez que la vi.
You can challenge the space station. But challenge me? Good luck. Welcome to Bellabog's History and Culture Museum.
Grandes spoilers están sacando, como esta es la primera ciudad.
As you can see, the interior looks brand new. But we're in a bit of a bind. Our exhibit was stolen. Let me take a look. So these are the suspects.
Let's settle this. Enough talk. Have it!
Never let your guard down in front of your enemy. And now, young man, allow me to give you a dignified end.
Va a estar esos dos. Ahí está el primer código. Va a quedar grabado todo esto. Siempre me toca verlo resubido. Me dijeron que era a las 8:30 de haber sido, entonces.
And whether or not your world has a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. As always, it's your host and good buddy Albert. Welcome to the Honkai Star Rail version 1.1 Galactic Roaming Special Program.
Hello, good to be here.
Today, we've invited 3 special guests to be with us on the program. Introducing...
Hi guys, my name's Melissa Fun and I voice Silverwolf.
Hey folks, my name's Craig Lee Thomas and I voice La Cha.
Hi everyone, I'm Dawn M. Bennett and I voice Yukong.
Pleasure to have you with us. And now, without further ado, let's get straight into Honkai Star Rail version 1.1. What's new, Craig?
Well, judging from the trailer we just saw, it looks like all 3 areas got some updates. Herta Space Station, Bellabog, and the Xianzhou Luofu.
I don't know if you noticed, but Silverwolf got the first bit of screen time. Just saying.
En Chivas, mira, lo bueno de aquí del Honkai que ya no tenés que conseguirle armas
is planning another visit to
para
Genius
que se le
Society
vean a ellos
territory
visual y a la
soon.
vez
Let's take a
solo
close look at
tenés
this
que
little
conseguir los
troublemaker.
libros. El arma es la que
Yeah.
tiene toda la vida. ¿Ves? Los efectos del arma es más que todo lo que tenés que conseguir. Por eso es que te dan libros. Casi igual que en el Honkai. Que el retro me llega.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the first time we saw this mysterious girl was back at the start of the story.
That's right. It's hard to keep an air of mystery when you're the first one on the scene, but...
I think she couldn't have timed it better.
I think you couldn't have timed that better.
So, what role does Silverwolf have within the Stellaron Hunters?
She's a super hacker, essentially. Lots of technical know-how. If you've got a hack, she's got your back.
It's kind of scary how good she is.
Yeah.
Hacking the surveillance system on Herta Space Station? Not easy. That's how she located the Stellaron.
Let's not forget the Xianzhou. She hacked into the Luofu's systems and guided the Astral Express crew onto the ship.
Hey, you guys know that this is all pretty illegal, right?
Yeah. I guess what we're trying to say is Silverwolf is capable of breaking through any and all defense systems. That's why she's useful to the Stellaron Hunters.
I see. Second question. What's with all the gaming paraphernalia?
Oh, I've been meaning to ask that too. A console here, controller buttons there. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Well, this probably won't come as a surprise to anyone, but she's a gamer. In fact, she sees the
She's a
universe as a
gamer.
game in itself, and she's playing to win. She actually uses a lot of gamer slang in conversation. Not everyone picks up on it, though.
Got it. So it's fair to say she's kind of a nerd?
Que, no sé qué.
You could
Dicen que
say
hubo un
that.
terremoto, por
She's
eso
also
puede
not
que
great
ya
at socializing.
Really?
No,
She always struck
no
me
se
as pretty
pudo
outgoing.
hacer el streaming en la
I
mañana.
guess she does have a lot of friends.
Hold up a second. She's an outgoing nerd with poor social skills and a lot of friends. That's quite the combo.
Well, if you struggle to make friends, why not create your own?
Melissa, you're talking about imaginary friends, right? I'm not sure that counts.
Oh. Okay, let me explain. I'm talking about the AI modules in her weapons. See these little guys on her character artwork? That's friend. There's devil. This one over here is white collar. Oh, and this one's servant.
Oh, they're so cute.
Lol.
Yeah, they're pretty adorable. When Silverwolf talks about
cute.
her team of professionals, she's talking about these guys.
Hold on a second. Since when did AI become so adorable? Clearly, we're making it real easy for the machines to take over. It's thanks to Silverwolf's hacking skills that she's been able to forge such a fearsome reputation at such a young age. Let's take a look at her strengths.
Well, Silverwolf is
Ay,
a quantum-type
nihilidad.
character following the path of nihility. She can apply different debuffs to enemies to improve her allies' combat superiority. In particular, her skill can inflict a weakness on enemies. The weakness she inflicts matches a random ally's attack type.
Which is to say that even if nobody on her team has an attack type which matches an enemy's weakness, Silverwolf can create a weakness that will correspond to an ally's existing strength.
Exactly! In addition, every one of Silverwolf's attacks has a chance of inflicting the enemy with a random bug. There are 3 kinds of bugs, which reduce the enemy's attack, defense, and speed,
interesante.
respectively.
Una de buffer
And
esa,
outside
¿no?
of combat, Silverwolf can use her technique to attack an enemy and enter battle. Regardless of enemy weakness, she deals damage to all enemies and reduces their toughness.
If Silverwolf breaks an enemy's weakness with her technique, it triggers the quantum weakness break effect, right?
Yes, that's right. What else was I going to mention? Her ultimate. Silverwolf's ultimate has a high chance of reducing the enemy's defense in addition to dealing damage.
I love that animation. It's like something out of a rhythm game, right? See, I'm starting to see what you mean by the universe being a game to her.
It doesn't stop there either. Did I mention her ability names? There's System Warning, Allow Changes,
Me
Awaiting
pareció raro
System
que un maje
Response,
puso
Force
los
Quit
3
Program.
códigos.
Oh, you get the
Entonces fue
picture.
como que...
Oh, was there one called a 10-set guarantee? Ooh, or how about single warp miracle?
Sadly not. Her ultimate's called User Banned, though.
Oh, I know what that means. Banned out of existence. Yeah, I guess the scary ultimate needs a scary name. Well, it's time to move on to the Xianzhou's mysterious visitor. Laocha, the traveling merchant.
Ese maje ya lo vi yo en la historia.
Straight off the bat, man knows how to dress. Elegant
Pokémon
look,
Community
gentlemanly
Game.
demeanor, but
Dice apareció
They
un
say
para
he's
salvaje,
hiding a
atrápalo
secret.
usando Pokécatch.
What
Los
do you think?
ganadores se revelan en
good
90
guy
segundos.
or villain?
He seems very suspicious.
Really? How so?
Well, imagine some guy waltzes into your hometown dressed like an aristocrat from another planet, but he knows all the local customs. You'd be a little taken aback, right?
Hey, I think you're being a little hard on the guy. Some tourists do their research.
Uh-huh. Well, don't you think his healing abilities are a little mysterious? They came in pretty
Sí.
handy during the storm
Eso de
crisis.
la curación me
I mean,
quedé...
if I'm a traveling merchant, I'm gonna want some first aid skills under my belt.
Exactly.
It's a dangerous career.
Career, huh? Are you sure that's how he makes a living? We haven't seen him trade a single thing.
Well, I feel like this guy already made his fortune. Maybe traveling merchant is just what super rich tourists like to tell people.
Jeez, you guys have an answer for everything. Is this the Laocha fan club or something?
Yes.
Let's start one.
Yeah.
Well, what about the coven he carries around with him? Nothing out of the ordinary there, right?
Yeah, you got me there.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
I'm not so sure. Everyone needs a conversation starter, right? Especially traveling merchants. Think about it. If you walk past this guy, the coffin's gonna draw your attention, right? You'll probably ask him about it, and before you know it, he sold you a new set of shower curtain rings.
You know something? That kind of makes sense.
Pokémon
Pretty
Community
smart.
Game.
I see.
Dice para se
And
escapó,
if you
nadie
find
lo
people
atrapó.
are in need of a few shower curtain rings,
Master.
I happened upon the finest
Dice en la
collection of
caja esa
authentic
se ignora.
Xianzhou bathroomware. Beautiful stuff. Low prices, too.
Dodging the original question here. Is Laocha a good guy or
Ese maje es
villain?
malo en
I don't think we have enough information.
Impact.
All right, then. Guess all you trailblazers have to make up your own minds. So, why don't we take a look at his abilities?
Ooh, now we're talking. Laocha is an imaginary type
Master.
character following the path of
Dice se le
abundance.
nota.
For a man with medical knowledge, it's not surprising that he's strong on protection. He can offer healing too and dispel debuffs from his allies. For example, Laocha's skill can restore an ally's HP. When the HP of any ally falls below a certain percentage, Laocha uses his skill on them without consuming any skill points. This effect can be triggered again after a set number of turns.
Emergency healing, huh? Important for team survival.
Sure is. After unlocking a special trace, using Laocha's skill also dispels a debuff from an ally.
Huh.
Using Laocha's ultimate, Death Wish, dispels one buff from and deals imaginary damage to all enemies.
In other words, if you've got an enemy that's always buffing themselves or debuffing your
Va a cambiar los
allies,
4 códigos.
Laocha has an important role to play.
Precisely. And here's something else. Every time Laocha uses his skill or ultimate, he grants himself 1 stack of Abyss Flower. Now, when the Abyss Flower reaches a certain number of stacks, Laocha deploys a field against the enemy, which lasts for a set number of turns. When the field is active, allies recover a set amount of HP whenever they make an attack. And that's not all. After unlocking a special trace, attacks against enemies in the field can restore ally HP.
Cool. It's like a force field of healing.
During exploration, when Law-Cha uses his technique, Mercy of a Fool, his field will be immediately generated at the start of the next battle.
Mr. Law-Cha, mysterious origins and extraordinary skills.
Master. Hice esa alta y se la robaron a Kazuka.
Cabal. Ella es arquera, primera arquera, segunda arquera que veo. La primera es marzo, 7 de marzo.
There's somebody else here we gotta get to. I'm talking about the elegant, sky-faring Hellmaster, Madame Yukong.
About time, too! Well,
Dice
from
hola,
commerce,
mamacita.
cargo, passengers,
Burro.
all the way through to the Air
Pinche
Force,
burro.
the Skyfaring Commission is in charge of all matters relating to flight. Yukong is the head of that commission, so the above falls right under her remit.
Nice. Speaking of flight, it seems like star skiffs are the most emblematic means of transportation on the Xianzhou.
Yeah, they're a common sight in the Xianzhou skies. Yukong can fly them, right?
I'd say she's pretty handy with a star skiff. When she was young, it was Yukong's flying skills
que
that saw her
otras van a
promoted
ser
by
de
the
5
general. That's how she
estrellas.
joined
No,
the
este de 4
Skyfaring Commission. She soon
Ella.
became an ace among the other pilots.
Huh? That's not the story I heard.
All right, you got me. Here's the director's cut. Yukong ran 6 red lights in a row. She was dragged straight in front of the general and...
I get the picture. Sometimes rebels get noticed.
You're only young once.
6 red lights, huh? Disclaimer, trailblazers, don't try that at home. Well, her rebellious streak might be a thing of the past, but she's still as sharp as ever. Dawn, give us the lowdown.
Coming right up. Yukong is an imaginary type character following the path of harmony. Her skill Emboldening Salvo grants her 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstrings. When Roaring Bowstrings is active, the attack of all allies increases. Yukong loses 1 stack of Roaring Bowstrings with every allied turn.
In other words, Yukong's skill can increase allies' attack for 2 turns.
You got it. During exploration, using Yukong's technique increases her movement speed for a set time.
Tiene
It also
velocidad,
allows her to obtain 2 stacks
hipervelocidad.
of Roaring Bowstrings at the start of the next battle.
Ooh, sounds like a good recipe for shaking off enemy pursuers.
Using Yukong's basic attack triggers her talent 7 layers, 1 arrow, which deals additional damage and increases the toughness reducing damage of the current attack. This effect can be triggered again after a set number of turns. When Yukong unleashes her ultimate, Diving Kestrel, she deals imaginary damage to a single target. If Roaring Bowstrings is active, its effect is enhanced, increasing the crit rate and crit damage of all allies. Her days on the front lines may be over, but Yukong's skills didn't go anywhere. Maybe one day, we'll get to see her take flight once again.
Ooh, here's hoping.
Man, we're really spoiled for choice with these characters, huh? Still, let's not forget what else we've got coming up. In version 1.1, we'll be welcoming 2 brand new light cones to the warp.
Oh.
First up, Incessant Rain.
Bubblegum in the rain,
Ese
huh?
es el
That's a
libro
mood.
del alma de ella.
The Silverwolf energy
Cinco
is strong
estrellas.
in this one.
You got that right. Someone don't want to tighten the
Yo quise
room?
sacar el libro de mi
So
personaje.
true. She's
Mi
like,
wife.
I told you, Kafka.
Yo quise
I'm gonna
sacar
tidy
el
it. As soon as
Adiós,
version
Usao.
1.1 finishes downloading.
¿Cuál? ¿La burra o la- o
The
la-
second
o la
light cone
silver
is the
wolf?
path of abundances, echoes of the coffin. See, it looks like a snapshot of Law-Cha talking to the coffin?
Master.
Oh, looks like some kind
Dice,
of
estoy
thorny
indeciso.
vines are emerging from beneath the lid. So many
Ah.
questions. I get a sense of mystery
Yo no sé
and
si le voy a
elegance,
tirar
but
a ella,
there's also
pero
a kind
si
of
puedo.
tenderness and fragility here. Don't you think?
Well, one thing's for sure. If people weren't curious about Law-Cha's coffin yet, they are now.
Just a man in his ornately decorated vine-producing coffin. Nothing to see here, folks.
Whatever you say,
Coffin
Craig.
dance.
Check this out. During the first phase of version 1.1 in the character warp, Contract 0, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Silver Wolf. During the
Master.
same phase in the Light
Dice
Cone
Omega.
event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star Light Cone Incessant Rain will be boosted. Now, during the second phase of version 1.1 in the character warp
Va.
Lake Pursuit, Trailblazers can obtain the limited 5-star character Lacha and 4-star character Yukong. During the same phase, in the Light Cone event warp, the drop rate of the 5-star Light Cone Echoes of the Coffin will be boosted. When version 1.2
Dice, pero para
rolls
antojar
around,
si son buenos los del hoyo
Trailblazers can
verso.
take part in an in-game event to obtain the
Simón, ¿qué le
4-star
vamos a
character
hacer?
Yukong for free.
Sick.
Details for this event will be announced through official channels in the not-too-distant future.
Nice.
Ooh, awesome.
Whew. Let's take a break for a minute here, but when we get back, we'll be talking version 1.1 events.
Ya metí todos esos códigos. Ahí en el grupo voy a pasar la screenshot. Ah, ya los pasó Jorge. El Setsu. Este es
Soy
un
más
chero.
Dice Chivo.
Ya los pasó aquel ahí. Y las pasó cabal cuando terminó el... Ahorita
más
los
bien.
acabas de pasar,
Dice
hermano.
en qué página se canjean.
Ah, espérame, ya la voy a poner yo. Para eso sí soy bueno, porque desde el celular hago toda esa mierda. Aquí está. Me gusta ella. Es
Welcome
que
back,
siempre que es el
Trailblazers.
ambiente
New characters
tipo
and Light Cones
retro y que
aside,
sea
version
como de
1.1
videojuego,
has
así con
lots of
ambiente
events
de
and
chispa,
gameplay updates.
así como era Najida,
And a little
me
bird
gusta.
told me
Me dan
there's an
ganas de
event
guardar.
connected to Silverwolf
Pero
on the
vamos a ver
way.
si no me...
Mhm. I heard the same
A los
thing.
90
At the
tiros
start of
tiene
the
que
story,
salir un personaje de
Kafka
5
and
estrellas.
Silverwolf invaded Herta space station. Kafka's mission was to awaken the Trailblazer. Silverwolf's mission was to help Kafka infiltrate the space station systems and locate the hidden Stellaron. But that wasn't enough for Silverwolf.
I can believe that. She's been on the IPC's wanted list for as long as I can remember.
During the invasion, she left behind some kind of digital graffiti. Just her way of letting everyone know Silverwolf was here.
Way to rub it in their faces, Silverwolf. Still, artists need an outlet.
This all sounds like classic Silverwolf energy to me.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the name of her homeworld. Punk Lord. Kind of fitting, don't you think?
Seriously?
No way.
Afraid so. I think she was destined for this kind of behavior. Anyway, in the Star Hunt game event, the Trailblazers receive an invite from the space station's
Va,
network
otro
security
evento.
engineer,
El de
Leonard.
pelea estuvo
They
bonito,
have to
a mí
help
me gustó.
Leonard locate the digital graffiti hidden across the station and uncover the secrets inside.
Mira
Wait,
que
there are
de
secrets
bienvenida
hidden
te están
inside the graffiti?
regalando
But if it's all digital,
50
I bet you
tiros.
need to hack into it or something.
Bueno,
You might be right.
no
We
te los
also
regalan,
get to
pero
meet
en
a
sí,
new
cada
Genius
10
Society
niveles te
member.
dan 10
One of
tiros
Madame Herta's
permanente.
collaborators,
Y
Screwlum.
ese banner
He'll
te
be
pueden
helping the
salir buenos
Trailblazers too.
personajes.
Wait, haven't we seen Screwlum before somewhere?
I think we
Fue
saw a
Master.
hologram portrait of
Dice
him in
está bien
Herta's
en el
office.
segundo
He's
banner
a
de la
robot, right?
actualización.
A robot Genius Society member.
Ahorita es el primer
Interesting.
banner que han
I bet
tirado.
he's got a few hacker skills up his sleeve.
Que es
If he's helping us
solo
out
un
too, I'm
personaje
sure we'll be fine.
que es el papu
You know
ese
what
que
I
tiene
found
la gran
out?
guadaña así.
Silverwolf and Screwlum
Bueno,
actually faced off against each
gran
other once.
titán.
You can see a snapshot of their fight
Dice,
in
voy a
the
ahorrar
We Will
para
Meet
esta
Again
mejor.
light cone.
Whoa. Okay, Screwlum, looking kind of
Guardale.
handsome there. Geez, his
Y
portrait
así
really
quieres
doesn't do him
tirarle
justice.
a la purra,
You know,
le tiras
If you and the light
tiras
cone need a
cuando
moment
ya-
here, the rest of us can head out.
también
Yeah,
de,
handsome robot.
también
I
de-
guess this event will be
de
the
parche.
second time Screwlum's come up against Silverwolf's mischief then. Old enemies
Ahorrate unos
rocking
90 tiros.
horns
Soy
once
Master.
again.
Dice tengo
this
que
does kinda
ponerle
feel like a
nitrógeno,
rematch.
pero no he hecho
I
casi
gotta
nada
mention that
extra.
graffiti again. Anyone else feel like it'd make for a good tattoo? I feel like some of these characters could pull it off.
I don't think that feature's coming to Star Rail anytime soon.
Oh, what?
But I did hear that the designs are collectible. The Trailblazer can apply
What?
them to in-game surfaces and take photos with the artwork.
So
Mira
cool.
qué broma.
Collecting the graffiti designs also
Ese es
allows
el-
you to unlock the limited 4-star light cone before the tutorial mission starts. Complete the event mission to obtain Always Smiling,
Te
which
van a
can be
dar ese
exchanged in
libro
the
si
event
terminas
shop
el
for
evento.
limited light cone special superimposition material,
Qué
as well
frase
as
mira,
stellar
güey.
jade.
Hey, that's another good-looking light cone. Not to change the subject or anything, but I gotta ask. Is that Albert merch I'm seeing over there?
It looks so
Hay merchandising.
funny. I want one.
Well, not to mention it, why don't I introduce you to the IPC's merchandise department? If you guys had your own merch, they'd be sold out in no time. Or maybe let's just get back to version 1.1 for now. In the story thus far, Belobog has finally emerged from the Stellaron shadow. But there's a lot left to do. The city is going through changes. Any of you guys want to shed some light?
I heard a thing or two. Now that the underworld and overworld are reconnected, things are definitely heading in a better direction. One recent development, Belobog's History Museum is getting ready to reopen to the public.
Museum? I love museums. Oh, don't you wish you could take the exhibits home with you, though?
The only problem is exhibits are being stolen. Anything you'd like to tell us, Melissa?
Oh, wait a minute. I only just found out they had a museum. How could it have been me?
I didn't say it was you.
Mm-hmm.
Pokémon Community
Oh.
Game.
Prime
Dice
suspect.
apareció
Anyway,
un
in the
salvaje,
Everwinter
atrápalo
City
usando
Museum
Pokécatch.
Ledger
Los
of
ganadores se
Curiosities
revelan en
event,
90
the
segundos.
Trailblazer must help Pela track down clues and recover the lost exhibits.
Nice! Well, I love a good whodunit.
Sounds great.
Well, that's not all. The Trailblazer can take on managerial responsibilities and help run the place.
O sea que nos va a
Huh.
tocar andar
So what does that
buscando
involve
las
exactly?
obras
I'm
que
glad
se han
you asked.
robado.
The Trailblazer can do things like collect
Está bueno el
exhibits and
eventito.
enlist other individuals to improve the overall experience for visitors. After achieving specific operational goals, they can accumulate funds to expand the museum's exhibits and gradually unlock limited time rewards, such as stellar jade, lost crystals, and self-modeling resin.
Sounds like fun. I'm sure it'll be a piece of cake.
When the limited time event is over, the museum will remain as a mode within the game. Trailblazers can return to the museum at any time to check out the collection and catch up with colleagues.
Of course, if you encounter any issues during the running of the museum, please don't hesitate to get in touch with the IPC. Wait, we don't have the service. Gotta get ahead of myself.
Deep breath, Albert. Not everything is an IPC sales pitch.
Thanks, Don. This is what happens if you read commercials for a living.
No worries. Kinda did sound like a useful service. Maybe the IPC should look into it.
I'm sure our Trailblazers are more interested in the content of the new
Pokémon
version.
Community
Let's
Game.
get back on track.
Dice a Pin
All right.
escapó, nadie
A
lo
researcher
atrapó.
from the space station
Maldito.
found a combat simulation program of unknown origin called Stellar Flare, which contains a series of new challenge stages.
Huh? More challenges?
Every stage in Stellar Flare has a challenge theme and corresponding special mechanism. Trailblazers will have to think outside the box and use any advantages offered by the mechanisms to complete the stage in as few turns as possible.
Sounds like the Forgotten Hall to me.
The difference with Stellar Flare is that the special mechanisms might require completely new ways of thinking about combat. For example, in some stages, using your skill doesn't consume skill points. In others, damage dealt when breaking an enemy's toughness is increased, but the enemy's toughness will be immediately restored.
Huh, sounds pretty cool, but I'm sure Silverwolf will take care of it in one turn.
What if I haven't leveled up enough characters? Is it impossible for me to complete the challenge?
Don't worry. To assist Trailblazers in completing the challenge, every Stellar Flare stage has a trial
Te van a
character
prestar
suited to
como
the
la vez
theme.
pasada
You
un
don't
personaje.
say. I can get behind that.
The Garden of Plenty event. Recently, the cosmos has entered a turbulent cycle, and the calyxes are unusually active. The reality data contained within them has grown exponentially.
Huh, which means...
It means that over a fixed time period, Trailblazers have a set number of daily attempts to obtain double the rewards from calyxes. Leveling up, here we come! The next event we're going to talk about is called Lab Assistance in Position. Wen Sherling is a Department of Implement Arts researcher on Herta Space Station. and she's currently preparing research topics needed for the next quarter. However, the Antimatter Legion's invasion has messed up her progress. As a result, Wen Shiling has asked the Trailblazer to help her collect monster materials for use in her research topic. If the Trailblazer collects and submits the experimental materials required on a given day, they can receive corresponding rewards.
I got a question, Dawn.
Fire away.
These are Space Station and Bellabog events, right? Aren't there any events or missions on the Xianzhou Luofu?
You beat me to it.
Oh.
That's exactly what I was about to bring up. In version 1.1, 3 new companion missions are destined for the Xianzhou Luofu. These missions will involve Bailu, Yanqing, and Luocha. As for the specifics, I'm gonna keep that a secret for now. We can't go spoiling all the fun, can
Las
we?
misiones legendarias.
Not even one detail?
Come on,
Así que,
John.
por lo
Give us a
menos,
little something.
siempre se
We're on
nos
the edge of our
puede
seats
dar.
here.
Yeah, come on, Dawn.
All right, all right. Do you guys remember the girl with the blindfold in the opening trailer? And now, young man, allow me to give you a dignified end.
I was wondering who she was.
Well, all I'll say is that she and the Xianzhou have a complicated past. And her appearance on the Xianzhou leads to a dramatic encounter with Cloud Knight Lieutenant Yin Qing. And that's all you're getting. Sorry! Surprises are worth waiting for.
Oh, I hate waiting.
Oh, come on.
Nope, I'm afraid that's all you're getting. However, I do have a little info on some other updates. Interested?
Sure, I guess.
Well, if nobody's that interested, then I suppose I'll just...
Of course we're interested.
What, are you crazy?
Albert, you're interested, right? That's better, good boy.
Nicely done, Melissa. The check-in event Gift of Odyssey will also be arriving in
vaya,
version
mira.
1.1. For the
Del
length of this
evento de los
version,
7
as long as
días de-
Trailblazers
Bueno,
log
esto ya
in
lo
for
hicieron
7
una vez.
days, they can acquire 10 Star Rail special passes.
10 free warps? Nice.
Version 1.1 will also see some system updates. When Trailblazers need to obtain leveling materials that only a certain type of enemy can produce, they can instantly teleport to an area where the enemy is present, as well as pinpoint the precise location of the enemy on the map with a marker.
Sounds like a real time saver.
Wait until you hear this. Once the
Soy
enemy in
Master.
question is defeated,
Dice
the
Chivo
marker
más
will
protos.
automatically move to the location of the next enemy. After all marked enemies on a map have been defeated, Trailblazers can continue to pinpoint enemies on other maps. This process can be repeated
este,
until
el
all daily
buscador
respawn
de-
enemies of a certain
de
type
de
have been
monstruos,
defeated.
de lo- de
That's a
lo que
lifesaver.
hace
I barely found my way to the
Genshin.
studio today.
There's also a small
Para
combat
poder
surprise
andar
in store.
farmeando
During
el
combat,
material.
trotters that have lost their way may randomly enter battle. As long as the trotter is defeated before it manages to flee, additional leveling materials can
Ahí
be
te
obtained.
escuche, ve.
Enemy geolocation and additional material opportunities? Devs, I owe you one.
Last but not least, in order to help Trailblazers stay in touch, version 1.1 also has a friend chat function.
Oh, al
So you mean,
fin, al
aside from
fin,
helping
ya le
friends
vamos a
through
poder
support
escribir al
assist, we can
amigo.
send them messages too?
Puta.
You got it. Doesn't matter if they're old companions or new
No,
acquaintances.
hombre, eso es
That's
lo que
the
estaba
spirit of
esperando yo.
trailblazing right there.
Oh, hey, Albert, what's your account? Let me add you.
What?
I need to add you. You can be my personal IPC customer service. What do you think?
Salut! Hey, don't get any ideas because I nearly made up a service that doesn't exist.
So you don't want to add me? Guess I'll just have to hack you.
Wait a minute. We can negotiate.
Yeah, I'm gonna need those account details too.
Count me in. Sorry to jump on the bandwagon here, Albert, but you're a celebrity anchor for the IPC. Everyone wants to be your friend.
Fine, but I'm switching my account the next chance I get. Time for today's third redemption code.
Bueno, esto ya. Ya lo tengo.
Soy Master. Dice XDD pobre búho.
Lo quieren
Well,
acosar.
time flies when you're having fun. Looks like our special program is coming to an end.
Ah, darn.
But as the first guest on the program, you guys got any thoughts, reflections, complaints?
Dieron 100 gemas
It's been an honor to
por
be
los
on the
errores
show,
de hoy de la
Albert.
mañana.
I gotta
y
say,
más las
we covered a
300
lot of
gemas que
ground.
dieron.
Now I'm even more excited
aquí
for
en
the
el evento.
updates. Fingers crossed I get Silver Wolf.
Yeah, seriously, same.
Greg, how you feeling?
I feel like I've got more questions than I came in with. What new directions will Lacha take the story in? Who's stealing exhibits from the museum? And what about those companion missions? Guess we'll have to find out the answers in-game.
Yeah.
For real. As for me, well, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'd seen a lot of Yukong up to now, but this was the first time I got to understand her moves and role on the battlefield. She's so cool.
Yo ya
I
llegué a
wanna
la
be
historia
her.
donde sale ese
Then
man.
again, I guess I kinda am her.
Ese,
I had to double check there for a second, huh? Well,
ese peludo.
that's it for the Honkai Star Rail version 1.1 special
Por eso es que ya
program.
me lo podía.
I want to thank all you Trailblazers today for tuning in, and hey, we'll see you on the flip side.
See you in the game.
Bye. See you when I see ya.
everyone.
Later, guys.
Está bueno. Dele.
You didn't think it was over, did
Mierda.
you?
Ay, qué bonito.